News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Sleeping in their own beds last night. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Wednesday, August 24th, 2016, and the sky's partly cloudy. We have 48 degrees in Missoula. And again, a big thank you to our engineering staff who worked tirelessly all day yesterday to restore all the computer damage that we had. We're back up and running now, and thank you. You guys are awesome. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by Office City, celebrating 100 years in business. See them for office supplies and furniture, price match guarantees, and free next-day delivery. At 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, residents who had been evacuated due to the Colorado Gulch fire were allowed to return home. Sheriff's Office spokesperson Brenda Bassett has more.
We're excited that everyone in the Colorado Gulch area are being allowed back to their homes. The sheriff made it a point to make contact with the incident commander and just to make sure that we could get those people back as soon as possible.
Bassett said there are still some restrictions, though, to access in that evacuation area.
Just because of the ongoing fire operations, we're asking that only residents go up to the Grant Creek area. We do have NCSO staff at the checkpoint checking if people are in fact residents of that area and that they're the only ones returning back to their homes. One
fifth-wheel trailer, some outbuildings were destroyed in the fire. The cause still under investigation. With the sudden arrival of fire season in Missoula due to the Colorado Gulch fire, many homeowners who were evacuated were looking in their homes through the rearview mirror, wishing they had prepared a defensible space. Jordan Copeland with the Department of Natural Resources and Conservation said it's easy to see when a home is vulnerable to wildfire.
I look around and there's pine needles on people's houses and in their shingles and things like that. Even the littlest cracks that have fuels in them can definitely be a hazard to your home because the embers that land on these dry fuels, that's what's going to ignite a fire.
Copeland said no home in the wildland-urban interface is immune from wildfire, but that there is time to fix the problem.
It's never too late. Fire can strike at any time, and our fire season it's extending. We're getting hotter and drier every summer. Last summer was a good example of that. And even now, fires are popping up, and we're starting to see some pretty intense fire activity. And a lot of these people in the woods, they say that they don't think it's going to happen to me, and that's not the right mentality to have. It can happen to you.
Copeland said local fire departments and the DNRC could come to the home and offer advice and even assist in the effort at a reduced price, and that even though the summer is waning, it's never too late to begin protecting your home. Officials say about 50 people have been evacuated from campgrounds and lodging because of a wildfire in the Grand Teton National Park in northwest Wyoming. The fire made a 5-mile run Monday, forcing the closure of a 10-mile stretch of road that leads to Yellowstone's south entrance. More than 4,000 vehicles a day normally pass through the south entrance this time of year. That road remained closed yesterday. Several campgrounds and a lodge that rents cabins in the area were evacuated. In neighboring Yellowstone, a fire burning near the west entrance road grew bigger Monday, and a new team of fire managers was being brought in to help. Although the fire was not being actively suppressed, all roads in major tourist areas in Yellowstone still remain open. The Copper King fire burning near Thompson Falls exploded over the weekend as it rushed past some indirect fire line into the record books as the biggest wildfire in Montana so far this year. Fire Information Officer Glenda Scott said the price tag on the fire has also gone way up.
Our mapping as of Tuesday night at midnight approximately, we are at 21,045 acres, so just over 21,000 acres. So on Saturday, we were at about 3,400 acres, a little bit more than tripled. Our estimated cost is about $10 million.
For some perspective, the destructive Roaring Lion fire near Hamilton only grew to about 8,500 acres, less than half the size of the Copper King. Both fires started on the same day. Scott says they now have something else in common as a new incident management team is taking command.
Although Greg Ponson's Type 1 team is a national resource, they're actually a Northern Rockies team, and most of the team members are from various places in Montana, and we have quite a few of the incident commanders and staff from Kalispell, Dillon, and then Greg Thompson's team was down Roaring Lion. I think they were off just a week and a half or so.
Because of difficult terrain, firefighters originally set indirect fire lines to help contain the blaze. Now that the fire is blown past that line, Scott says the fire is in an area that's more accessible and direct fire lines can be applied with controlled burns and bulldozers. Officials have identified a motorcyclist found dead in northeastern Montana as a North Dakota man who went missing in June. The Roosevelt County Coroner's Office said Zachary Baldwin of Williston died of blunt force trauma resulting from a motor vehicle crash. The 30-year-old man was found dead Friday and is believed to have died June 26th, the day he went missing. The Billings Gazette reports a road cleanup crew had spotted the man's motorcycle in a ditch off Highway 2. Authorities responded and discovered Baldwin's body nearby. The Highway Patrol said Baldwin had veered off the side of the road and rolled at least once down an embankment. He had been wearing a helmet, but at some point it came off. The incident remains under investigation. Hoot owl restrictions in western Montana are disappearing as river temperatures start to cool off. Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Public Information Officer Vivica Krauser explains.
We've kind of been lifting them incrementally as conditions have improved, so as our water temperatures have gone down, and the cooler nights, the longer cooler nights really helps bring that temperature down a bit. So we now have lifted part of the restrictions on the Upper Clark Fork from Flint Creek downstream to Rock Creek is now free from those hoot owl restrictions.
There's still a few restrictions in place, but they should be lifted soon.
Upstream from Flint Creek all the way to the headwaters, that's still under hoot owl restrictions, which means no fishing from 2 to midnight, those hottest hours of the day. And Silverbow Creek is also still under restrictions for the same reason. I would imagine we have another week and a half, and then we'll probably be restriction-free for the fall.
This year, the first wave of hoot owl restrictions went into place July 29th. A wildlife advocacy group has filed notice that it intends to sue the U.S. government for failing to act on petitions to protect more than 400 plants and animals under the Endangered Species Act. The Center for Biological Diversity accuses the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service of leaving hundreds of species in limbo. It said the Florida sandhill crane, white-tailed ptarmigan, and eastern diamondback rattlesnake are among those species awaiting a government decision. Newstalk Times 612.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies today with patchy areas of smoke and a few showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. Daytime highs will top out in the low 70s tonight. We'll see lows in the 40s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.